How often do you think of the Roman Empire? I basically never think of the Roman Empire, but I often think of Roman concrete. I don't know why, but there was a tidbit that I learned in a practical engineering video about how Roman concrete wasn't like the like limestone in it wasn't broken down fully or whatever. So sometimes when cracks appeared in it, there would be a chemical reaction that would happen with the reopened sediment, and it would cause the concrete to self-heal. Like, the Romans were worse at making concrete. It couldn't hold as much pressure or weight or whatever, but because of the way in which they made it worse, because they didn't have modern equipment, it also had a self-healing property when it cracked, which is one of the reasons it lasted so long. So it's like, yeah. Like, the way the Romans made concrete could not hold up as much weight as ours, because ours is mixed properly, but the way they made concrete made it, like, durable in a way that ours can't be. So it's like, yeah, it's like a trade-off. But I think of Roman concrete pretty often. I've heard that that kind of concrete doesn't work with rebar. Man, I've heard that our kind of concrete doesn't work with rebar. You know, a significant portion of concrete failure is caused by rebar. Like, significant portion of concrete failure is because of rebar. Because rebar, like, a tiny crack will happen in the concrete, and that's fine. Concrete is meant to stand up to compressive strength. A little crack doesn't actually affect the concrete's sturdiness that much, but it means that air and water can get into the rebar, and then it'll rust, and the oxidization causes expansion, which will actually destroy the concrete from within. So often when you see crumbling concrete, you see it crumbling down to rusty rebar. Here, crumbling concrete. I've heard some people say flat out, we just shouldn't use rebar, which is like, well, then how are you going to have tensile strength? And it's like, well, I don't know, get it some other fucking way. It's like, it's stuff like this. If you've ever seen something like this, basically the concrete is totally fine, but then when the rebar gets exposed to oxygen, the process begins, and once that process begins, you're pretty much yeah. It's not usually like this obvious, but versions of this, you know, anytime you see concrete failing, it's usually because of rebar, but you need the tensile strength. So I don't know. Is there a rust-proof strong metal? You can make metals that are much more rust resistant, but not really rust proof, and there are other trade-offs. Like stainless steel, for example, is a lot more expensive than steel, and stainless steel is better, but yeah, titanium is really expensive, much more so than stainless steel is. And even stainless steel isn't immune to rusting, it's just, you know. Yeah, stainless is brittle as well, which makes it worse with the tensile strength. You can't do the pre-tension stuff, the pre-stressed concrete. The issue is steel is insanely cheap. Steel is incredibly cheap, like insanely cheap, really. And it's because we have an infinite amount of it. Like, there's an infinite amount of steel. The planet is mostly made of iron. We may run out of a lot of things on this earth. We will never run out of iron. So that's good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like an infinite cobblestone generator, except for iron. That's what Earth gets, basically. Iron is the most atomically stable element. Yeah, it's like the heaviest stuff that you can easily congregate into, or I don't know. Fun fact, in spite of our material science, we still haven't found a better metal for swords and knives than steel. Yeah, one of the biggest breakthroughs we're going to have, if we have one, if we ever discover it, is if we ever get a real breakthrough with an alloy. Like, if we ever get another big alloy that isn't just some, like, oh, it's 0.02% more, but like, we actually produce something that is meaningfully a superior metal in the same way that steel is meaningfully superior to iron or to copper or to bronze or tin or whatever. That'll set off a whole bunch of technological innovation. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if it's possible. I mean, we've been looking for it. Like real life orichalcum. I mean, we've been looking for that like a while. Like alloy sciences are very much ongoing. Like there's because it's like maybe you spend 2 centuries looking for it, but once you find it, like that's it. You know, it's huge. Bronze is actually harder than iron, but it's a pain in the ass to make. Yeah, because you do that's alloy with the copper and the tin and blah blah, and you can just turn iron to steel. Steel is like magic, dude. Isn't it fucked up? Like, really though, isn't it fucked up that you can have steel that is soft enough that if you had a plate of it, you could kind of like ding it against another plate of it and they both bend in. But if you heat it really hot and then put it in oil and then put it in an oven for a bit and take it out, it is somehow now 3 times as hard, and it's more brittle if you can break it, which good luck, you know? How it's so fucking weird. It's the carbon. Yeah, well, you're reshaping the molecules or the ion. You're reshaping the yeah, yeah, the carbon. Yeah. No, I think you heat it really hot and then you dunk it and then you keep it hot for a little while. Putting it in the oven actually makes it softer. No. You do it for a while to like bring the temp down after. I don't know. Yeah, aluminum's really useful. Half-life for sure. Overcooking a steak will also cause it to be 3 times as hard. That's true. And in your pursuit to making a joke, you have actually made a good point that I thought about for a second as I said it. That is true. Overcooking a steak can cause it to become 3 times as hard. Yeah, tempering it. Yeah. Bridges made out of burnt steak. I like my steak tempered. Yeah. Is hard steak better? No. I will say this much though. I think that the like internet cult of like, oh, you eat your meat, you eat your steaks rare, you pussy, I eat them blue rare or whatever. I actually think these guys are ruining steaks a little bit because can we all agree that the best steak has a nice like crispy char on the outside so you get a pleasant crunch before you bite into like a good medium rare? I feel like I feel like people are so into pretending that they eat all their shit fucking like right off the cow that I'm getting steaks in restaurants sometimes and there's no crust at all. And I'm not asking for it to be burnt or whatever, but like, yeah, I want a crust on my steak. Yeah. So like, like that, like there's a bit of a crackle on the outside. The sear. Yeah. I'll always order it medium well. Medium well is a bit much for me. I think, okay, I'm going to say another thing that might get people mad, but maybe not. Maybe everyone agrees with me. Okay. People are way too snobby about this shit. Okay. There is a spectrum between medium well and medium rare where it's gonna be pretty great if it's a good steak and like maybe it's a bit better if it's medium rare, but if you get your steak medium well and it's a good steak, it should still be really good. Like I think medium rare is best for a steak. But if I have a medium steak, like, really what's the difference? And if I have like medium well, which I have gotten served to me a couple of times, I guess just mistake from the chef or whatever, it's still really good. It's not a huge deal. Sometimes people act like it's like you ruin. I do think you're ruining a steak if you bring it to well done, because at that point you don't have any pink left in this. But if you like it that way, then fuck it. Yeah, like what I think you're ruining it if you do it well done. But you know what? I'll say it. If I ordered a nice steak and I asked for it well done after the waiter was done sneering at me, they bring me a well done steak. That steak should still be really good. I think that people wildly overstate the variance in quality across the cook levels, even at well done, which I agree is worse. It should still be good. Like if I went to a restaurant and somebody like served me like a well done steak, I would still be like, oh yeah, great, haha, yeah, like I'm still happy, like it's a good steak. What's your brother's take on this? My brother's a chef. I don't know, probably something really fancy. I just think people overstate the extent to which the difference. Yeah, people are like emotionally attached to how much they cook their meat. Yeah, they are, and it's really weird. I don't like it. Yeah, like just so we know, well done steak. Okay, I don't trust these. I don't trust these graphs here. What kind of steak is this? I don't know. Okay, like yeah, here's a well done steak slice. This is good. Okay, this is a good graph. Okay? Obviously, the one over here on the left is going to be a lot worse than the other ones. But if it's a good steak, it should still be good. As long as there's some pink left. Too damn dry. Well, all of these look dry because normally when you're served a steak, it's supposed to be sitting in a bunch of juices, and all of these look like they're just sort of like these all look like they've been patted down. Look, even the medium or medium rare, whatever this one is looks dry. There's no glisten. Is the one on the right even blue rare? No, I think that's rare. It's rare, medium medium well done. I think that's my guess. But a good steak, even if a steak is well done, it should always be at least somewhat moist because nobody eats a steak dry. Wait, Do you guys? Wait, hold on, really quick, okay? Whenever I eat a steak at a restaurant, it's always served with like a bunch of liquid around it. I don't know if it's sometimes it's butter, sometimes it's like herb aioli stuff. Like there's always stuff with the steak. It's always juicy. It's always sitting in, yeah, some lemons and like a butter pat or whatever. You guys aren't just eating like, okay, this is what I mean. Pan fried ribeye. You're not just eating slices of steak that you just put there, right? Like, like if you pick up a steak slice, it should drip a little from the juices that it's in. If it's not, yeah, stuff like, okay. Oh boy. Oh fuck me, dude. Is this well done? It's well. Is this well done? And it has no. Oh man, this is like a dry mouthful. Like you've got the mashed. Oh, bit overdone, but I'd eat it. Yeah, but there should be some sauce here. It should be like spilling everywhere. The saucy sauce. I'm so hungry right now. Here we go. This is an appropriate amount of liquid to have a steak in. Okay, I don't care. I don't know what this liquid is. I don't care. Just like any liquid, whatever. Have that shit be soaking. Why not? Like, why not? You know, you're having a steak. What are you doing? Watching your fucking cholesterol while eating a steak? Come on, slather that shit in butter. Okay, sorry. I'm very tired. I'm also very hungry.